I have a speaker card from a Fernando, but I don't know what item you want to speak on. Can you come down and tell me what item it is, or if it's open forum?
All right, welcome back. It's been a fun summer, and now we're back to business. Calling the Rules Committee meeting for Wednesday, August 7th to order. Let's have roll call.
Davis?
Here.
Jimenez?
Here.
Kame?
Here.
Foley?
Here.
Cohen?
Here.
Have a quorum.
Thank you. We are going to start by reviewing the August 13th agenda for next week's council meeting. Starting on council meeting is agendized to have a closed session at 9:30, regular session at 1 o'clock or 1:30, an evening session at 6 p.m. Consent starts on page 4. Continues on pages 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have an item on travel, section 3.3. We have a adoption of the questions and statement of policy for the police chief search, tax levy for general obligation bonds, and the property tax roll levies for waste and stormwater charges. And section 6, we have 2 items related to our clean energy department, and we have 2 items on regular land use starting at 6 p.m. There's also an ad sheet to be included. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Okay, back to the committee. Any questions, comments, or a motion?
Move approval for the Tuesday, August 13th agenda, including the ad sheet.
Second.
Okay. No other comment? We'll move on. Oh,
just a comment, and I'm not sure if this is appropriate or it should wait until the actual council meeting, but the ad sheet is an item related to a travel to Dublin, Ireland, and I will note that there are 6 council members listed. However, only 5 are allowed to attend. I'll make that note and have the council think about it next week, because we can only send 5 council members.
Sounds like we need a 6-sided dice to make that decision.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We will.
One other thing I want to add is that under my request for travel, it does indicate that it's to be paid from District 9 Council office budget. It actually isn't. I intend to use personal funds. So
Okay.
we will be
We'll amend that
filing
item next week,
amended.
then.
We'll amend that.
Okay.
If I'm one of the names going forward.
Appreciate that. Thanks for the clarification. Now we'll move on to a vote on this first item. All right, that motion carries 5-0. Our second item is to do the early review of the council meeting on Tuesday, August 20th, with a 9:30 start time for closed session and a regular session at 1:30 in the afternoon. Very short consent agenda on page 4. Section 3, we have annual report on advancing racial equity. Section 4, 2 items related to the police department's use of military equipment. Section 7, a valuation and analysis on Lake Cunningham. And that is it. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Move approval. Second.
Okay. Councilmember Jimenez.
Yeah, I was in communication with my team. It seems like I thought we were supposed to have, I don't see, at least in the copy that I have, an adjournment from Marie Arnold listed, and I'm wondering if you have it on your radar that is
I'll double check with staff.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that's
Okay.
included, because I
Yeah,
was expecting it
right.
to be there.
And I think, obviously, we have another crack at this next week at rules again. All right, let's move to a vote on this item. All right, motion carries 5-0. Now we're on to our consent agenda for today's meeting. There are 7 items. Actually, there's 8 items on consent this week. Maybe I'm wrong again. There's 9 items on consent this week. Do we have any public comment in any of our consent items?
No public comment.
All right, we have a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Let's vote. All right, motion carries 5-0. Thank you so much. We're on to our action items for today's rules meeting. I'm going to start with Councilmember Davis to introduce the first item.
I think we have some public comment, so I'd
You want to go there first?
like to take the public comment, but I'll just note that the item is about naming the rotunda, the Janet Gray Hayes Rotunda.
All right, let's go to public comment.
Yes, as I call your names, please go ahead and make your way to the podium, no particular order, but when you get to the podium, please state your first name. David and Gloria.
I didn't know you were going to get to it this fast, but thank you. I'll make it brief. It hasn't been brief for Janet Gray Hayes. It's been 50 years since her election as the first woman mayor of San Jose and the first woman mayor of a major American city. It's time that she finally be recognized. Something might be said of the significance of a person who has people 50 years after she was elected coming before you and saying good things about her. I try to think of it in that positive way. I guess I could also think of it in the way that, boy, my friends were pretty slow in recognizing me. But all jokes aside, she opened up City Hall to new voices. She transitioned the city to district elections, which changed politics for the good, forever, in this city. And it's time that she's recognized. She meets the criteria, obviously, in the policy, but more than that, she has a broad spectrum of political support of people nominating her from all sides. Sam Liccardo, Mayor Mahan, Cindy Chavez, Ken Yeager, Tom McHenry, the League of Women Voters, and others, Terry Christensen. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for your support, Councilmember Davis, in taking the lead on this. I know you've been working on this for quite a while, and we're very happy to see this going forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the Rules Committee and City Council members. I'm so delighted to be here. I'm Gloria Chun-Hu. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of San Jose, Santa Clara. And in addition, I serve on the State Board of the League of Women Voters in a capacity as Advocacy Director. But I'm here today to thank you for your interest in helping us recognize someone who has long been forgotten, I think. We need to remind our young people of the strides that we have made and the historic first place that San Jose did in not only moving toward district elections and changing San Jose in the right direction, putting together a general plan that was really a general plan that changed the direction we're moving on, so we were no longer going to be the bad name for sprawl and really looked at planning. And as a former planning commissioner for the city, I'm always delighted to look, however large the general plan is, to see the thoughtfulness that we have put into how we're using our land and how we're planning. But more important, the diversity that we now have in our city council is thanks to the work to ensure that we have district representation, not just at-large seats. That made such a fundamental difference. And we're very proud because Janet Gray Hayes was the president of the League of Women Voters of San Jose, Santa Clara in 1962-63. I wasn't here at the time, but then she went on to help form the regional League of Women Voters, representing 9 counties and 22 leagues in the area, to really talk about regional planning at a time that it was still a new concept, and that would have been in the late 60s, early 70s. And then she went on to become our mayor and to create this notoriety as a feminist capital. So thank you for your consideration. It's been a delight for me to work.
Thank you. Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. I think this is a great idea. I'm in full support. I'm ready to entertain a motion unless you'd like to add some other comments first.
Thank you. I would really appreciate the support of the Rules Committee in moving this forward to the full council. It has been 50 years since Janet Gray was elected as the first female mayor of any major U.S. city, not just of San Jose. And it is befitting, I think, her legacy to have something on our City Hall campus named after her. So with that, I will make the motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Vice Mayor Kamei.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank Councilmember Davis for bringing this forward. It's about time. And certainly those of us who have been in the community have been impacted by Janet Gray Hayes and knew her very well. And she always encouraged many in the community to get involved, to run for office, to keep doing it, and just maintain that strong involvement. So I just am gonna, this is really terrific, and thank you for doing this and bringing it forward. And thank you to the committee for all the work that they've done, because I know it's always the behind the scenes that really happens. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilmember Foley.
To echo that, it is long overdue that we are recognizing Mayor Janet Gray Hayes for all the work she did, being the landmark first female mayor of a city, of a large city in the country, is really an incredible act during the year of the feminist movement, or when we had so many female leaders on city council around that time as well. It's long overdue. I can't wait to be able to celebrate the Janet Gray Hayes Rotunda, and I look forward to it coming to council very soon and everyone saying yes to this. Thank you to the organizers for bringing it forward.
Yes, thank you. We have a motion. Let's vote on it. All right, that motion carries 5-0. We'll see this item back at council soon. Our second item this week is a request to add resolution on federal recognition for Muwekma Ohlone. We'll start, I think Councilmember Ortiz will go ahead and start, introduce this item, and then we'll go to public comment.
Great. Thank you, Chair Cohen and committee members, for the time to speak to this joint memo, authored by myself, Councilmembers Davis, Cohen, Candelas, and Dewan. For years, the city has proclaimed its goals of fostering partnership with local indigenous groups, including its Natural and Working Lands Plan. But the federal government does not recognize any indigenous tribes in our Bay Area. That means no indigenous tribe has access to federal programs, cannot hold land in trust, and is generally cut off from the rights that have historically been granted to Native Americans across this country. As the largest tribe with ties to the land on which San Jose is built, we strongly believe it is time for the city to act as a good partner to the Muwekma Ohlone tribe and support their long journey for federal recognition. Supporting federal recognition for the Muwekma Ohlone would not prevent the city from developing relationships with other tribes or supporting their own bids for recognition. It also would not obligate the city toward any land use or business relationship with the tribe. It would simply affirm that the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, including the tribal members who are San Jose residents, are deserving of the same rights and sovereignty as all other Native Americans in the United States. In short, it's the right thing to do, if we're serious as a city about partnering with local Indigenous groups. I ask the committee to please support this item so that we can have the opportunity to discuss as a full council. Just really quickly, I would also ask for a friendly amendment for anyone who would support this resolution to strike the 11th whereas. There was oversight of mentioning somebody's name who is now against the recognition of this tribe. And if we could please strike that from the resolution before moving it forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do we have any public comment?
Yes, we have a couple of in-person public speakers. Again, as I call your name, please make your way to the podium, no particular order, and when you get to the podium, please state your first name. Keenan, Mitzel, Corina, and Scott.
Yatahe, good afternoon. My name is Kina Fassett. I am a Choctaw Yaqui woman as well as a Northern California Miwok dancer and a resident of Ohlone Territory. The fact that it makes someone of this land so anxious and fearful to come up here to beg for my relatives' recognition is one of the many examples of generations of fear-mongering, ongoing repression, genocide, and misplacement among us as Indigenous people. The fact that we must come to you, visitors on our home of Turtle Island, to try to convince you our relatives deserve recognition is another box ticked, showing how inhumane, unjust, and predatory your government is. I've racked my brain trying to come up with a negative impact recognizing our relatives could have and have yet to find one. I'm here to request you federally recognize our relatives, the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, so they can have a brighter future, have more say in caring for the land we're lucky to be visitors on, and countless other positive effects. It doesn't take a college graduate to understand how painful all of this has been for our people and how absolutely aggravating it is that we're still begging for the bare minimum. So that is all I have to say, and thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, council members. Ganarakat Karina Arellano. My name is Karina Arellano, and I'm a proud Muwekma. I stand before you today as a voice for the future generation of our tribe, advocating for you to support our federal recognition efforts. As a young person growing up here in San Jose on Muwekma Ohlone land, I've witnessed firsthand the challenges and barriers we face without federal recognition. Our access to essential resources such as education, healthcare, language revitalization, and so many other tribal priorities are hindered. We are asking you to help us thrive and succeed. Federal recognition is not just a bureaucratic process for us. It is a pathway towards a more just and equitable future. It is about securing basic human rights and opportunities for our people, ensuring that we can build a strong and sustainable community for generations to come. The state and federal government are in flagrant violation of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Let this council be a leading voice in the justice movement. Let this council be a moral voice for the people on whose land your government sits. By supporting our tribe's federal recognition efforts, the City of San Jose's council has the power to help us shape a more inclusive and equitable society. It's an opportunity to stand on the right side of history, to uplift a marginalized people, and pave the way for a brighter future for all. I urge you to approve this resolution in support of our federal recognition efforts, not just for our tribe, but for the promise of a more just and equitable future for all. Thank you for your time and consideration. Kishoshe Hakina.
I know you can't see that from here, but so my name is Scott. I'm an uninvited guest on Ohlone land, Muwekma Ohlone land, but I'm a full supporter and ally and accomplice to helping Indigenous nations get their recognition. It's their nation. It's going to help any and all of us with the knowledge they have for thousands of years to help any of us be better, climate control, firefighting, being kind and just understanding more about food and being stuff that's more local to us to help us all together be together as a community. I travel throughout the United States as a canine life coach. I've been around, I've seen a lot. San Jose, coming from LA, I love LA. I know, I'm in Northern California, I get it. But San Jose has been one of the more cultural cities in California. And it starts with the Muwekma. It starts with the Muwekma Ohlone. And I apologize if I say anything wrong. I'm nervous, but to understand the importance and significance they have always had on this land, we would not be able to have this. A lot of other, so to see them actually being more of that fight for everything that everybody else has stood up for, you just recognized your first woman mayor of a major city. 50 years later, that's great. It's never too late. The Muwekma Ohlone has been in the background forever, and they will always still be here when the rest of us pass. We have a lot to learn, and with any luck, hopefully when you approve the recognition of the Muwekma Ohlone, it's going to make the rest of everybody else take notice, and it's going to be a leading to go everywhere else so they can feel the support going to Washington, D.C. and getting that federal recognition on their own land. It helps.
Thank you. Calling the next batch of speakers, Sean, Saynat, and Leo.
Hi, my name is Sanath Krishna, and I'm an intern for the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Until about 5 months ago, I didn't even know that the Muwekma Ohlone tribe existed, let alone existed in my homeland. 5 months ago, one of my friends first talked about the tribe with me in school and how an internship opportunity with the tribe was available. I was overjoyed for the internship opportunity, because initially, it was another thing to put on college apps. So I joined the team and joined the first meeting, and being shocked was an understatement. I remember first hearing about the tribe from Chairwoman Nijme and other tribal leaders, hearing about its rich history, its vibrant cultural practices, and its way of life. Later, when going on Wikipedia to read more about Muwekma on the list of federally recognized Native American nations, I scoured the list, looking under the M category for the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, and was even more shocked to find that Muwekma wasn't on the list. And from that point on, I made it my goal to get it on that list. And with the help of fellow interns, we try to make that goal a reality, arranging meetings with council members, writing articles to gain awareness for Muwekma's struggle, and helping the tribe in whatever way we physically could. 5 months ago, I didn't even know what the Muwekma Ohlone tribe was. Now I was directly working with the tribe and working to get them federal recognition. And now, I assume that many of you were in the same position I was in 5 months ago, some just starting to know what the Muwekma Ohlone tribe is. But instead of waiting 5 months to understand Muwekma's struggle, we can do it today. Because understanding Muwekma's struggle doesn't require 5 months of close examination. It doesn't even require 1 hour. Because once we all understand Muwekma's struggle, we understand that passing this resolution is the only way to help bring back Muwekma's vibrant and rich history. Pass this resolution to help bring Muwekma's history back out of the dust and into reality.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Leo Belance, and I'm also an intern with the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. I've had the pleasure of working with this tribe through multiple initiatives, whether it was taking the time to understand their history, to getting the word out, or organizing meetings with local officials. Through and through, I've witnessed firsthand their dedication to preserving their heritage and upholding their community. The tribe's exclusion was never due to a lack of historical presence or continuity, but rather a result of bureaucratic oversight. In spite of this, the tribe has tirelessly worked to protect their burial grounds, to revitalize their language, and to maintain cultural practices. They've garnered widespread support from local governments, universities, and communities alike all throughout the Bay Area. Obtaining federal recognition would not only correct a historical wrong, but would also provide the tribe with the resources and support necessary to continue the preservation of their people. In my experience, while I've certainly faced pushback from various cities and districts, I've also been able to find comprehensive support for the tribe. And I believe that now, more than ever, this is the best time for people to start listening to their plight. Because once the cities and communities of the Bay Area come together to recognize the tribe's existence and their efforts, then and only then will they achieve what they intend. Thus, I urge the City of San Jose to support the resolution in favor of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe's federal recognition, because in doing so, we can right historical injustices and support a community that has been and always will be an integral part of this region's history. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sean Schramm. I'd like to ask you to support the tribal band's recognition. Through no fault of their own, they've been disregarded in this process. Their history is their struggle is so well documented that they're part of California history. And they can not only tell you who they are, because they know full well, they can tell you who we are as a state. They've always held up their end of the responsibility. And I'd like to ask you to be the hand that turns this page in history. They've done so much work with Los Gatos and Los Altos history museums, and with Santa Clara University to bring relevant California history to the public. For any of you who've not been there for any of that or not watched that from home, I urge you to take a look. It's free of an analyst's and archaeologic bland tone. And if these groups can work together, then what excuse does the general public or you who sit here today have to deny it? Please listen to these folks. Again, they can tell us not just who they are, but who we are as Californians.
Calling the next batch of speakers, Vedant, Aaron, and Arush.
Hi, council members. My name is Arush Gupta, and I'm an intern for the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. I personally had my experience with Muwekma Ohlone in the 4th grade, where we learned about the tribe's rich culture, their food. We even had a tribal member come up to us and talk to us about their amazing experiences. But I learned about their actual history in my 2nd year of high school. I learned about the oppression that they went through and the unfair hand that they were dealt with. And to really understand the tribe's frustration, I want to tell you why they weren't given federal recognition in the first place. In 1927, a federal official misplaced tribal documents, which messed with the Muwekma Ohlone's registration process, leaving the tribe landless and without access to any resources. I mean, tell me how you would feel if someone told you that your entire lineage meant nothing simply because of a missing paper. That wasn't even your fault. But we're not here to play the blame game or tell you sad stories. We're here to tell you about the amazing resources, the amazing opportunities, and the amazing community that the Muwekma Ohlone tribe has fostered all throughout San Jose, and the rich history that their tribal leaders have maintained for thousands of years. That rich history that I saw in 4th grade, and that rich history that, frankly, people should have the opportunity to see and understand for years to come. That rich history can only be shown with federal recognition. Now, me and my team have been working to revamp the Muwekma's website for the past 3 months, and we've also been working with their social media team to outreach and really spread the Muwekma story. And every single bit of information I've seen, every single initiative they've planned, every single event that they've run has left me so inspired. And it makes me so sad that a community with so much culture and so much activism can't get the recognition.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Vedant Athalia. I'm a rising sophomore, and I'm so thankful, first of all, to be speaking in front of all of you today. Now, my experiences with the tribe started out with a fellow high schooler introducing us to, once again, that internship opportunity. But realistically, when attending that first meeting, meeting Chairwoman Nijme, and meeting so many other people telling us about the great opportunities that would come, what projects we could be working on, and how to actually make the tribe achieve federal recognition, and how every one of us could help make that a possibility. We were all given various opportunities, projects to work on, from contacting local governments, writing articles, to reaching out to schools and universities in the area. But realistically, when the first article I wrote was about the tribe, finding out what the stigma behind people's opinions when they hear about helping tribes. And that's always been a problem for years and years. I wrote articles about indigenous social good, how the Muwekma Ohlone people helped their community, helped other people around them. I reached out to organizations, high schools, and even Stanford University. They have an entire program meant to re-enlight, help the Muwekma Ohlone people. And it's finally time that happens in our area. By passing this resolution, you finally make it so that the plight of so many people that has been unaddressed for so long is finally addressed. It reinforces their tribal rights, increases the protection of their tribal lands, healthcare, education, cultural preservation. All of that happens when you pass the resolution. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished City Council members. My name is Aaron He, and I'm a rising junior at Bellarmine College Prep. Over the past 8 months, I've worked with the Muwekma Ohlone tribe from Charlene's congressional campaign to starting this internship program for its quest on federal recognition. Over in this internship program, we've gotten over 30 students from multiple schools across the Bay Area, and we've been wanting to seek federal recognition. We've reached out to hundreds of city council members and mayors from other cities, and we've set up multiple meetings with them. Over my time reaching out, I've experienced lots of opposition and rejection. Multiple governments declined the resolution, saying it wouldn't have much of an impact on the federal government's recognition. But that's wrong. San Jose City Council passing this legislation would drastically change the prospect of federal recognition. While we did indeed experience lots of opposition, we had multiple city governments support us. Government officials from Hayward, Sunnyvale, Berkeley, Union City, Hercules, San Francisco, and Menlo Park, all in meetings and emails, expressed support for Muwekma federal recognition. But they were all afraid that no one had done this before. Passing this bill in San Jose City Council not only would show to the federal government that one of the biggest cities in the Bay Area supports Muwekma federal recognition, but it would show to all these other cities that someone's taking a step. Someone's standing on the side of justice. Other cities will see this bill, and they will see that someone is going with them. They aren't alone on standing on the side of justice. So, by passing this bill in San Jose City Council, not only would it be easier to convince other cities to pass the same bill, but they would have more of an incentive to. And that's why passing this resolution of support is absolutely critical. Thank you, and please support it.
Calling the next batch, Denora, Chairwoman Charlene, and the first name, it looks like AYUSH or TH.
Hello, members of the San Jose City Council. My name is Ayush, and just like my other speakers before me, I'm a rising junior. Now, I come here today to talk about my personal experience with the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Now, back in April, our school held a global village in which various cultures have a stand to share different experiences and aspects in a community building moment. Now, my friend Aaron He specifically mentioned and asked me for my help in running the Muwekma Ohlone stand. Now, naturally, at first I had no experience or prior knowledge about what the Muwekma Ohlone tribe was. But in just the first 30 minutes of observing the community and the culture that they shared with other members of my school, I went to helping run that stand and sharing information and helping getting others to join the cause and help out the Muwekma Ohlone. In fact, by the end of the Global Village, we were able to get over 31 interested students who were willing to put their time and effort to support the Muwekma. And over the course of the summer, I have seen that organization grow into an official internship organization in which students around the Bay are fighting day after day to get other Bay Area cities to support the Muwekma Ohlone and help them get just rights. In fact, we've already garnered the support of multiple Bay Area cities and also have organized multiple volunteer events to directly interact with the community. But now I know one thing for sure. No matter what, the Muwekma Ohlone tribe will have the support of the communities and the people in the communities. As we have seen by the students speaking here today, the only question is if you are willing to take a little bit of your own curiosity and open-mindedness and to join that fight for just rights. Thank you.
Horshay Tuhi, Kanakrakat, Charlene Nijme. Wetresh Muwekma Wulwulum, San Francisco Bay Area Talk. Good day, I greet you in my native Chochenyo language. My name is Charlene Nijme, and I'm the chairwoman for the Muwekma Ohlone tribe of the San Francisco Bay Area. I want to thank the Rules Committee for having this hearing about putting the resolution on the agenda for next Tuesday on the 13th. I encourage you all to do the right thing and add it to the agenda and push forward our recognition. Help uplift us, uplift our voice, uplift who we are in the community, because everyone is watching today. A lot of people have said today everything that I was going to say in my speech, but this federal recognition is very crucial for my people because of gentrification, because of not having access to housing, the crisis of not being able to afford housing here is pushing our young people out. We are your constituents. We live here, right here in San Jose. I grew up in San Jose. So please do the right thing and add this to next week's agenda and pass unanimous vote on it, because everybody's watching and our ancestors are watching. Yesterday, I went to Berkeley before we're going to the state capitol for our Trail of Truth. We said a prayer to our ancestors to let them know that we are here and we're not forgetting about them, and we're returning after our trip to DC to return them back to the ground, to give them peace. So that's what federal recognition means to us, to give our people, living and dead, peace, and living in harmony with the community outside of us. So please, I ask.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello. My name is Dinar Flores. I'm a resident of San Jose all my life, from Cambrian. I ask of you to pass a resolution to recognize the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, not for myself, but for all of those who are of the tribe. I grew up not knowing of the Ohlone tribe. I'm so glad to hear now that it is being taught in schools. Personally, I grew up not knowing any natives actually existed still in the Bay Area, but to know that it's not recognized, or no native tribes are recognized in the Bay Area, is completely heartbreaking to me. The flown with an Ohlone dancer is flying in the front of the Santa Clara County Government Center, and it doesn't make sense to me why they're not recognized as a tribe. And I do hope that you see it in your hearts and in your minds. It's just intellectually understandable to recognize and pass the resolution for the recognition of the Ohlone tribe. Thank you.
Next batch of speakers, Dhruv, Liliana, and last name Pilli.
Hello, relatives. Greetings. My name is Mitlal Pili, born and raised here in San Jose, native Mexican by birth, an Aztec dancer for the past 30 years. We just hosted the 26th annual Mexican New Year here in San Jose, at beautiful Emma Prush Park. And we had the pleasure of co-hosting the California Native Nights with the Muwekma Ohlone. We have firsthand experience seeing how our culture has brought healing to our youth and our families in our community. So I'm here to ask you all to make sure this gets on the agenda for discussion, for more community input here in support of the Muwekma Ohlone. As a step of progress, a step of doing the right thing. Maybe not perfection, but we're going in that direction of making progress, especially here in the Silicon Valley, where we're cutting edge technology. Recognize our indigenous people of who they are. We need to catch up and be on the cutting edge of that technology as well. This will help bring healing and balance to not only the Muwekma Ohlone people, but all native people of this land and all people of this land, even the visitors that are here, because we're all related. We're all related to our Mother Earth, to our Father Sun, to the sacred elements that are inside every single one of our bodies. The water that makes up the majority of our bodies, the wind that we all breathe together, the earth in which we eat from and nourish our bodies and our families with, and the fire that's burning inside every single one of you. So I ask you to do the right thing today, relatives. Do the right thing for the people, for our future generations. Let's support the Muwekma Ohlone and let's work with them so that we can restore balance here to the elements, to the community, and to the rest of the world. Thank you very much. Omateo.
My name is Dhruv Thimaya. I'm a student working with the internship that many other speakers are from. And before I start today, I'd want to thank the San Jose City Council for giving the Muwekma Ohlone people a chance and deciding to hear us out. Because many other people have shied away from taking this topic on. But today, by moving forward and deciding to give the Muwekma Ohlone people a chance, hearing us out, you have taken a step that could be a catalyst in the rights of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Today, I'd like to push for the San Jose City Council to view this topic from an ethical perspective and fulfill our nation and our California government's unfulfilled dues to the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. To explain why I'd like for this council to view the issue in this way, let me slightly explain the history of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe within our country. See, over time, the Muwekma Ohlone tribe has faced adversity after adversity. When Spanish colonizers came over to this country, they brought several diseases that the Muwekma Ohlone and other natives did not have the immunity built up to. These diseases wiped out their populations and effectively destroyed their chances to ever reproduce. But the Muwekma still came back strong. Yet they faced adversity after adversity as their culture continued to thrive until our US government took over from the Mexican government. Now you'd think that in a country that values morals and ethics, we would have protected these people who have faced so much torture and so much pain. Yet our California government provided an estimated, adjusted for inflation, $60 million to terrorists and militants who engaged in ethnic cleansing campaigns against Native Americans like the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Yet, years later, this same government decided that we would make up for our past mistakes. We'd give resources and land to the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, whose members we'd killed off.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello. Hi, my name is, thank you. Hi, my name is Liliana. I'm in no way affiliated with the tribe, and I've only known about them for the past 3 or 4 years. I want to take a minute to highlight the history that was shared, that it wasn't even their fault. It was our government's fault that they're not recognized as a tribe. It was us who lost a piece of paper that are making it hard for them to be recognized as a tribe. So it's time for us to fix that mistake. I know that it's hard to care about something that's impacting you, that's impacting others until it's impacting you. But this but getting this pushed through for the Muwekma Ohlone tribe will impact all of us. They're able to care for the land and honor people in a way that our government hasn't shown they're able to. And I feel like it's important. Jaime, how you want to say something? Sorry about that. Baby boy, I'm gonna let that back for a second, okay? I feel like it's really important that we take the time to honor what they're offering to us by supporting them. It matters. It matters to me, it should matter to you, and if it doesn't matter to the people in your life or the people above you, then it's time to talk to them about that too. That's all I have for now. Thank you. Do you have something to say? Okay, let's say bye. Say thank you. Thank you for letting us speak. Come on. I need that back. Come on, baby. Thank you.
Next batch of speakers, Cynthia, Nicholas, and Gina.
Cynthia. Hello, my name is Cynthia and I'm a member of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. I'm asking for you guys to support and federal recognition for my tribe. I have lived in San Jose my entire life. This is my homeland and this is my children's homeland. I ask you for your help in providing a resolution for my people. Passing this resolution will not only impact my children, but our generations to come. It is never too late to do the right thing. Thank you for your time and consideration. Kishoshe Ekinan.
Hello, committee. I want to introduce myself. My name is Nicholas. I'm a second-generation San Josean, born and raised here. My grandparents met picking on the apricot orchards that used to cover this place. And when my grandmother would work in Del Monte fruit packing station, she would ask her girlfriends about the natives that she once knew must have been here. And her girlfriends at the time giggled and laughed and shared that the natives are all gone. They're not here anymore. That was the truth that my parents were told in schools graduating through San Jose's school system, that the natives were once here and now gone. And through the restorative justice, it was me and my younger brother who got to visit field trips in El Viso and see the marshlands where the native peoples of this territory once roamed. And it wasn't until graduating from San Jose State just a couple of years ago that I learned that those descendants and communities are still around and live today. For the past few years, I have been attending a few of their get-togethers, and never have I seen such a more crucial time of restoring that justice, of not allowing another generation to go unknowing, to go doubt that this was once fruitful land, that the truth that we stole, and we deserve the truth to be shared with us and to generations forward. Thank you.
Speaker with last name Lopez.
Good afternoon. My name is Gian Lopez. I'm a member of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Born and raised in San Jose, educator for 15 years, high school educator at Mount Pleasant High School to James Lick to Andrew Hill, Overfelt, all across San Jose, and a business owner now. And just my experience in my own tribe is understanding why the place that I do so much service for as an educator or as a business person, giving back to my community. I employ my students. I teach my students. And one thing that I've failed to be able to do is confidently and with support of my own community is to teach my own culture. And it's very apparent that we are here. It is very apparent that there's evidence of that. So all we would need is support from our community being our own land, our communal land. Something that I'm very passionate about. I did not intend to speak, and I'm so glad I am, because it enlightens me to know that regardless of the decision that's made, my cousin Charlene, she's gonna continue to fight. So whether it gets answered now, it's gonna come back again, and it's gonna come back again in different forms, right? So I would, appreciate from my people and my family to help us come together, because I have a son here who I'm trying to embed culture in, and it's very difficult with things like assimilation and gentrification and things like that we all know of that make it hard, right? So this could be a platform for y'all to make it right and see what happens from there. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna step in classrooms and I'm still gonna teach and I'm still gonna run a business, and that's not gonna stop. Just like my cousin is still going to fight for our people. So I thank you for your time.
Back to the committee.
All right, well, first I want to thank all the members of the public for coming out and addressing the committee today, and I'm going to now bring it back for discussion amongst members of the committee. We'll start with Councilmember Davis.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank all the public speakers for coming out today. I really appreciate your passion and your hard work in trying to get federal recognition. So I grew up in North Dakota, for those of you who don't know, and have, as I think probably in every state, learned about indigenous peoples who were the people who were indigenous to our state in fourth grade, as my son did in fourth grade, and came home talking about Ohlone. And because when he learned the word, he really liked the sound of the word, and so he talked about it a lot. And I just think that the federal government has mistreated the indigenous peoples across the United States since before we were even a country. And it pains me to know that we still have these issues to this day. That being said, there is a ton of history and a lot of things that I'm still learning. And we got a letter from one of our congresswomen that had some information in it that I didn't know. And so I would like to say that I would like to make the motion to bring this to the council at the end of August, because that'll give us some time to learn a little bit more, and then make some changes. So I'll make the motion to bring this request to council at the end of August, and also to strike the whereas clause that refers to Congresswoman Lofgren. And then hopefully we can have some discussions in our Brown Act group about how to move forward.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you so much for the motion. Councilmember Foley.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Davis, for the motion and for giving us a little bit more time. The end of the month, I think, is much more appropriate to discuss an issue that frankly, many of us don't have all the history. Even the 5 months that the students from Bellarmine talked about, we don't even, some of us have that information. I've met with some members of the tribe a few months ago, but I still don't have a lot of background information, which would be helpful. So I'd like to request, when this does come to council, that we have a brief staff presentation giving us some background on the information. And also, I'd like to understand the impact on this resolution as it relates to other tribes in our area, if that's an issue.
No, we can absolutely do that work.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any other, do you want your picture? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just add to something I'd like to see. The question I have, I won't ask it now, but it's around, we got, for those that don't know, we got a letter from our Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, and in the letter, it's about a page-and-a-half letter, she goes through and just cites some of the history related to federal recognition, and effectively suggests that the tribe has hit sort of a wall, if you will, or the end of the road, having gone through some of the court proceedings and such. And so what I'd be curious about is when it comes back from staff, if we can get some additional information related to, assuming this goes to the city council, we approve it, and what happens then? Does the tribe think that that's going to be enough to go then forward and reopen this, relitigate this federally, I guess I'd be curious about. So if we can bring that information back, that would be helpful.
All right, thank you. And thanks for the motion and for the valuable input from my colleagues. The motion is to bring this back to the council at the meeting of August 27th. And you have another comment?
Another comment. So oftentimes we don't, since we already closed public comment, I would say that I would ask you to come back up if you can. Given the, yeah, no, I remember the name, but I was going to think about how to ask a question. So, given what I shared, what would be the impact to the tribe, assuming the city moves forward and passes this resolution? What would you all do with it?
Well, we will take it to DC with us and let them know we have the support of our community. We live in your district. We are your constituents. And it's very disheartening that you are playing politics here with Zoe Lofgren. She is being bought by the gaming tribes who's trying to push us out of our community and wipe us out of existence. But this is what the Trail of Truth is about, to stand up for our justices, not just for Muwekma, but all unrecognized or unheard tribes who feel unseen and unheard. And we're going to speak our truths, even if it's uncomfortable.
Okay, very good.
But
Very good.
I'm very disappointed with this council, this rules committee.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We will be back August 13th, because
Wonderful.
this was supposed to be on the.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll on with our
I would
discussion.
just say that we got a letter from the Congresswoman before the meeting, and so I was just essentially citing some of the.
Yeah, I understand. And
Yeah.
there's
Correct.
complexity to this, especially how the Bureau of
And so I would just say the reason I brought that up
Yeah.
is just simply to highlight some stuff that would be helpful for us when we bring it back.
I think it's
to
going to
better
be
understand.
attached. Yeah, there's a lot of complexity to this. There's unfortunately, historically, tribes that have been recognized are against other tribes to be recognized. Right. Even the BIA has been weaponized against unrecognized tribes. So all that stuff I hope can be brought up in the conversation, because it's very important to have that context.
Wonderful, and I agree. So I'm
Yes.
ignorant as to all
Thank
that.
you.
So that's why, that's the point of
Exactly.
that. Just yeah. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, any other comments before we move to a vote?
It's posted on our agenda.
All right, let's vote. Okay, motion carries 5-0. Now we're on to the third item. This is an item brought forward a memo by co-authored by myself, Councilmember Candelas, Councilmember Jimenez, Councilmember Ortiz, asking the City Council to endorse Proposition 5. Let's move on to public comment on this one.
No public comment.
Okay. Any comments from the council? I'll just say, based on conversations with staff, they are planning to bring back at the end of the month on August 27th a recommendation for various endorsements of various ballot measures, and so this will be included on that. Rather than bring it back at the council meeting next week, I would just ask it be brought back as part of that package at the end of the month.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Let's vote. Okay, that motion carries 5-0. Thank you so much. And now the last item is a memo from Councilmember Batra. I don't see him in the room. This is related to a study session on prevention of illegal fireworks. Do we have any members of the public?
No public comment.
Okay, Councilmember Davis.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've talked about illegal fireworks multiple times in council over the years, and generally what happens is after the 4th of July, I believe it goes to a committee, although I'm not sure which one, maybe it's PISPIS, and often comes to the full council. I don't think we need a full study session for it, and I frankly don't think that's a good use of staff time. So I am not going to be making a motion to approve this. Okay. Although I would be happy, if necessary, to make a motion to approve the
suggestion in the staff memo.
The suggestion in the staff memo.
Okay, yeah, the staff memo suggests that this be brought back as a item to an upcoming PISFIS meeting. I think that makes sense to continue to have this conversation. Many of us have been working on this topic for several years. It's a big priority. I had meetings last month just to try to work on with the League of Cities and members of the local community on how we can encourage the state to do more to prevent the importation and distribution of illegal fireworks that are actually being trafficked in from Nevada and other places. There's a lot going on to try to solve this problem, but I think it makes sense for PISFIS to hear it. I see another hand up, Vice Mayor Kamei.
I just wanted to sort of be mindful of the impacted PIS-FIS calendar, and so I don't see a lot of urgency for it, but when appropriate, I think it can come back, so I'm okay with that, but given that there are a lot of things that are going to be already on the calendar, I would just leave it up to the staff to figure out when that comes back.
Yeah, and the chair of PISFIS will work with staff on figuring out when it fits into the work plan in the coming months. It is a good idea for us periodically, I think, as we've implemented several new ordinances on this topic to figure out how they're working, what the impact has been, and what kinds of outcomes there have been related to that. So I think it's a good conversation for PISFIS to have. Any other comment? All right, let's vote.
Was there a second?
I thought there was a second. Oh.
I'm sorry, what was?
The motion, did we actually get a motion?
Yeah.
We didn't, the motion was to refer to.
Yeah, so I made the
PISFIS.
motion for staff recommendation, which refers to
Thank you.
PISFIS.
Yes.
There we go.
And that was a second from Jimenez? No, here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jimenez. All right, motion carries 5-0. We are to the end of our meeting and open forum. Do we have any hands for public forum?
Fernando, please go ahead and make your way to the podium.
Good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Fernando Reyes. Maybe some of you have heard of me. My name is going around behind closed doors in this county because of the controversy of my situation and case. I'm currently dealing with a corrupt case of civil conspiracy against the family courts, DFCS, local PD, and my son's school. There was an incident that transpired, obviously, within the county, where it's another instance of Gable Fernandez pertaining to negligence on court judiciaries, on police officers, and people of DFCS who have committed fraud, perjury, etc. It's a really severe case where a little girl was molested and it was covered up that Sonoma County doesn't want to prosecute because they don't want to address this issue, because if they do prosecute, it's going to make this county look negligent to their civil duties. Because I have forewarned everybody, including the courts, the police, DFCS, etc., which it eventually led to a sexual incident inside Vargas Elementary in Centerville School District. I've tried to protect my child and other people's children. At this point, I have warned your guys as supervisors of your districts, your county supervisors, Congress too as well, and I will be going to Congress. I stand for the children, everyone's children, your children, their children, and I stand here alone, and I intend to take on your county. Your county has not acted according to law, and your police have not acted according to law, because we're always supposed to put the children first. Every law is supposed to complement children, every single law. But I have been deprived of those rights, and it's not fair to myself, but my story is not about my story, it's about our story. It's about Gabriel Fernandez, Noah Cuatro, the little girl that was molested, my son who had to endure all these turmoils because of the negligence, because nobody wants to acknowledge it. I'm trying to be very discreet, but I want to know what your city is going to do to change as a city in a whole, because our people.
Thank you.
That's your time.
All right, thank you. We had 2 minutes for public comment. Any other public comment?
Back to the committee.
All right, our meeting is adjourned. You're putting a card in now? Okay. This will be related to items that were not on the agenda for the committee today.
Can you explain that we don't respond?
Go ahead, come on.
Yeah, I can.
I'm not sure people.
I didn't expect to be back. I didn't realize that there was more on the agenda for today. The only reason I'm here is because I care about what he's speaking about, because it pertains to me and my life directly. I grew up in the foster care system. My little sister did too. And there is an issue going on with us not being safe in regards to being exploited as children. My little sister was 14 when I started calling on a 21-year-old, 22-year-old. But because of the fact that she's a chronic runaway, they weren't willing to do anything about it. They knew where he lived. I was able to give information. I was able to give everything necessary to protect my sister. And that didn't happen. My sister got pregnant, and now I have a niece. That's my reality. My reality is that I grew up unsafe in San Jose. I grew up being exploited by people in San Jose, in the foster care system. This is an issue that I feel like needs more attention. And if somebody else is willing to stand with me, I'm glad I was here today to stand with y'all and let you know that it doesn't just impact him. He might be speaking here alone for the most part, but it's not just him. It is all of our kids. And I care for my child, I care for my niece, I care for me. I never should have had to go through that, and neither should have my sister. And when I called the cops asking for help, they should have helped. So I would like to sit and help you guys figure out how we can make that happen. I know it's not easy, but I will help. So, yeah. Thank you for your time.
Back to the committee.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to make sure the public understands, we take public input. We don't have a dialogue at this forum, but we appreciate your comments. The Rules Committee meeting is adjourned at 3:06 p.m.